Julia, the daughter of a Russian military leader, starts the movie by telling a story about her late mother and how lonely she was even though she lived with her father. In class, the teacher is talking about an astronomical event that is happening on Earth. A geek named Google seems to like Julia because he always tries to help her answer the teacher's questions. Julia asks her father, Colonel Valentin Lebedev, for permission to see a meteor shower that night after school, but he says no because he wants to keep her safe. When she calls her tough boyfriend Tyoma to complain about her dad's decision, he tells her she should disobey him because it only happens once every 50 years. After some time, Tyoma brings Julia to the roof of a building, where everyone is waiting for the meteor shower. Julia then goes to meet her girlfriend Svetlana. They choose to have fun in Svetlana's bedroom and leave her on the roof by herself. At the same time, a spaceship from another planet is seen moving through the solar system. It suddenly gets hit by a meteor, which splits it down and sends it hurtling into Earth's atmosphere at a very high speed. The Russian military sees the alien spaceship falling and fires missiles at it because it doesn't slow down. This makes it lose speed. As it falls toward the city, the spaceship hits several buildings, including Svetlana's apartment. The impact kills Svetlana right away and shocks the couple so much that they almost fall off the building. When it finally stops moving, it has hit many buildings and killed hundreds of people. The Russian military moves quickly toward the ship that is crashing in the impact zone and tries to get in touch with them while the city is being evacuated because the spaceship could be a nuclear bomb. Colonel Lebedev and Mikhail Polskin, a deputy for the State Duma, walk toward the ship to first talk to an old, probably alien being. A number of guns are also set up in case of a surprise attack. Mikhail tries to greet the alien with a warm greeting, and it seems to understand them and tries to talk to them in a language that no one can figure out. A short time later, Lebedev tells the higher-ups that he and the aliens have agreed to stay away from them while they fix the broken spaceship. Some higher-ups want them to attack it and destroy it completely, but the colonel doesn't want to start a fight with the aliens, so he just watches. In the meantime, Julia wakes up and finds out that her girlfriend has died. She also watches the news, which tells her that her father is in charge of the operation and that walls have been built around the spaceship to protect it. After that, she leaves the hospital and grieves over the death of her friend. Following this, Colonel Lebedev takes his daughter home to stay with her grandmother for a while. Even though there was a crash, the kids still go to school, where the teacher talks about how excited he is to meet an alien civilization. They think that aliens killed their friends and family and the military still doesn't do anything about it, which makes the students angry at the aliens. Then Julia steals her father's gun and heads to Tyoma's gang hideout, where he and his friends are planning to share bad things about aliens on social media. She tells them they need to go to the quarantine zone to get revenge for the death of her girlfriend. They sneak into the zone through an old processing plant and make it there in the end. Tyoma suggests that Julia wait in the car while the others look around the nearby buildings and find an alien object that probably fell through the roof. At the same time, Julia doesn't listen to her boyfriend and sneaks up to Svetlana's living room. There, an alien creature appears out of nowhere and shocks Julia. The alien stops her from falling and tries to talk to her while Tyoma and his friends come up behind her and hit the strange creature. He loses his grip on it and it slips, letting it fall freely. They proceed to approach the creature right away, and Tyoma sees blood that is similar to human blood. It turns out to be metal armor, and Julia sees an alien species that looks just like a human dying, but she doesn't pay attention to it. Later, they get the armor and the strange thing away without being seen. That evening, Julia can't sleep and chooses to return to the building in the quarantine zone. Her first act is to save the alien and hide its body in the car when she gets there. Google is going to medical school after high school, so she asks him to help her the next day. She speaks to Google and says that she owes the stranger something and wants to save him. Since he has lost a lot of blood, Google decides that his body is similar to humans. They test his blood and find that it matches Julius. The blood transfusion she chose to do works. His silver bracelet is suddenly given to her when he wakes up. She figures out that the metal bracelet pulls water and lets her control it while she is taking a shower. In the meantime, the military got the alien thing that looks like a shield and investigate it. Additionally, the colonel knows that the thing has the power to manage water. On the other side, a fisherman is shocked to see that the water near the alien spaceship has mysteriously vanished. Seeing that the ship has 30% fixed damage, the scientist comes to the conclusion that it draws water and uses it to fix itself. In the meantime, the alien wakes up and makes it through the day speaking Russian. Introducing himself as Hakan, he says he is looking for a thing called Shilk. He prepares himself and goes alone. Patrolling officers see him and take him to a police station to interrogate him. The exoskeleton is the right size for people, so Tyoma and his friends can use it. Someone in his group accidentally turns on the armor, which makes the others very scared. Colonel Lebedev is not available when Tyoma calls to deliver the exoskeleton to the troops. They meet a group of enraged people who are upset that the troops limited the water supply. They start fighting with the crowd when one of them tries to stir them up. Although Tyoma was trying to stop the fight, one of the police officers hit him in the back and arrested him. Later, Lebedev shows up, but Tyoma changes his mind about giving the armor to the military. During the interrogation, the police officer gets stuck because she can't find Hakan's fingerprints on his finger. Later, Julia shows up at the police station to set free Hakan. Although Tyoma is in the same room as him when he finds Julia, he is very upset about what she did. She makes up her mind that the alien will meet her father at the border. During their trip, Hakan tells Shilk that he needs to return to his planet. She has to lie that she is pregnant when she gets there so that her father can meet her. She introduces Hakan to the colonel while quietly stealing her dad's access card and giving it to the alien, who her angry dad sends him out. Hakan poses as a scientist to sneak into the lab and take the Shilk from the unknown object. After a while, the scientists figure out he isn't Colonel Lebedev. They quickly turn on the emergency alarm. After that, Hakan finds a way to get back with Julia, and Lebedev tells his men to take them home. Upon his release, Tyoma and his friends begin making plans for the revolt. They create Molotovs, customize the car, and supply baseball bats. Later, he calls Julia to say sorry and begs her to join the group, but she says no because she wants to be with the stranger instead. Since there is no way to avoid the military there before midnight, Hakan must wait till midnight to carry the Shilk onto the spaceship. They go home together, and she shows the alien to her sick dog. Hakan notices that the dog is in pain, so he puts the Shilk close to the dog and the dog's illness is miraculously cured, restoring it to good health. Julia finds out via the TV while she is eating that Hakan is currently a military fugitive. When her father returns home with his military convoy, they leave and Hakan tells her it's bad for her health to smoke. Meanwhile, a lot of people get affected by the hateful video that went viral and was directed towards the military and aliens. According to the video, humans have a duty to defend Earth against higher-rank entities. It turns out that the video was made and shared by Tyoma and his friends in an attempt to provoke rage. The two of them go to Google's house and borrow his clothes. After that, they go to a concert where Colonel Lebedev can't find them. Hakan tells Julia to hold his hand while they dance and shows her what his planet looks like. People shouldn't get too close to their spaceship, he says, or Saul will destroy it because they're afraid people will steal their technology. One of Tyoma's friends sees them and tells Tyoma straight away, which makes him get really upset. After the party, Julia leads Hakan return to his ship through the empty building. That's where they finally kiss, and Julia tells him how she really feels. All of a sudden, Tyoma and his friends show up, devastated, and start beating the alien badly. Hakan makes the choice to fight back when Tyoma hits Julia. With ease, he knocks everyone down, proving his power. However, the bullet that was aimed for Hakan actually hit Ruslan when one of them misfired. Soon as the guards show up, Tyoma and his friend are able to escape. Anxietiest over losing his best friend, Tyoma tells his friend to share lies about an alien killed a man and initiates an online revolt to destroy the spaceship. After the group is complete, Tyoma gives a controversial speech in which he accuses the military for shielding aliens rather than humans and insists that they take back Earth. After the military decided to hold fire and defend the line, Tyoma's group started rampaging and eventually broke through the barricade. And in the meantime, Tyoma gets around with the alien's exoskeleton. Sensing in danger, the spaceship calls several aliens wearing advanced suits to protect their ship. On the military base, Julia tells her father that Hakan is not human. She then goes against her father's orders and threatens to kill herself because she thinks that returning Hakan to his ship is the right thing to do right now instead of calling for a full military assault. Right away, she drives Hakan back to his spaceship, where Tyoma steps in with his new suit. He smacks the car and Julia passes out. There is nothing else Hakan can do but fight him. The alien is less powerful than Tyoma, who tries to kill him until Julia wakes up and hits the exoskeleton with the car. In the meantime, Colonel Lebedev and his soldiers put down their weapons to show the aliens that they are safe. The arm of the exoskeleton breaks off and Tyoma is thrown out of the suit. He pulls out the gun and shoots the couple without mercy. When Lebedev sees that his daughter was shot, he tells his men to arrest Tyoma right away. The aliens work with the humans to bring Hakan, Julia, and Colonel Lebedev into the ship, where they are dying. They then put them in a capsule to heal while Lebedev talks to Saul, the ship's AI. Saul, who speaks Russian, tells the colonel that they are not allowed to go to Earth because it is thought to have aggressive people living there. Hakan thinks it's possible to get in touch with Earth, so he goes there to see what's going on. Saul says that Julia's true love for Hakan might make a positive difference in the outcome of the observation. Soon after, Julia returns to life, and the spaceship leaves Earth while releasing a lot of water. At the final scene, Julia says that somewhere in the faraway universe, there was a stranger who believed in humans' potential more than humans themselves. Thank you for coming, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.